We are being joined by senior forward of the men's soccer team, Moises Medina, who is, as of just this last weekend, the Dixie State all-time leader in men's soccer in goals and in game-winning goals. It'll be fun to talk to Moises. Thanks so much for being on our show today.
Thanks for having me.
First of all, I think obviously congratulations are in order. Congratulations on becoming Dixie State's all-time leader in goals scored and game-winning goals. Quite the tremendous feat. I can't imagine you're not enthralled with being able to get that accomplishment this season.
Yeah, I mean, it feels good. Definitely have to give credit to the team. And throughout all my 4 years, the great teams that have played here with me. And I'm just happy to finally accomplish it. I mean, it feels good.
And not only that, with your 3 goals and your 2 wins over the weekend, you were named the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference Offensive Player of the Week. And, rightly so. Anytime you can set a record like that, a school record, and plus lead your team to 2 victories, what does it mean for you to be named the Offensive Player of the Week? Obviously, this is a loaded conference, a lot of good teams. What does it kind of mean to you to be named the Offensive Player of the Week?
I mean, it feels amazing. I feel like I have a great team this year, and our offense this year is really killing it. We have a lot of more goal scorers this year, and it feels good. I mean, hopefully we go into this playoffs going in pretty strong, and we're ready. I mean, it feels good.
Moises, we talk about the records in goals and then game-winning goals. I think maybe some people listening or watching are like, what's the difference? Obviously, the game-winning goal is when you score. It doesn't necessarily have to be a golden goal type goal. I mean, if you score a goal early in the second half and that ends up proving to be the game winner, that's the game-winning goal. Let's talk about what's it like scoring the game winner? Obviously, you score a golden goal. That's one thing.
Yeah.
But what's it like knowing you score a goal 10 minutes into the second half, and then that score holds up, and you get into the locker room and you say to yourself, that was the game winner. Without that goal, we wouldn't have won. What's it like having so many of those in your back pocket, knowing that you've put in that game-winning goal, 12 or 13 times now as a Trailblazer?
I mean, yeah, I feel good. I mean, as soon as you get that first goal, you build that confidence going in, and just throughout the whole game, just realizing different strategies on how to get the ball and going forward. It definitely changes the way you play, and it definitely opens your eyes a lot more, and it's a lot easier once you get your first goal to build that confidence and get that game-winning goal. It's a different feeling getting the game-winning goal, like you said, in golden goal, than it is just scoring a normal goal for the game-winning goal. But both are special feelings. I mean, it feels good.
We're chatting with Dixie State's senior forward of the men's soccer team, Moises Medina, and the Trailblazers just fresh off a couple of wins over the weekend. Let's talk about that, Moises. You go on the road, and you know that you need a couple of wins to keep pace in the RMAC and in the race for that RMAC tournament, and you go and you get both wins on the road. Obviously, this point of the year, those individual records are fun, and we can talk about those. But I know you and most other student athletes will talk about team, is the star, and team is really what's important. You go get those 2 wins, and now you're in good position to make that RMAC tournament. How big of a focus has that been, not only all year, but especially these last few weeks trying to get in?
Yeah, it's been a big focus. I mean, this last weekend in Colorado was crucial for us, and luckily we got out with the win versus Pueblo. And just the team's excited, man. I mean, everyone's looking forward to playoffs, and hopefully we get closer to that ring.
Chatting with Moises Medina, senior forward for the men's soccer team. Moises, just talk a little bit about this team so far this season. I mean, you guys have been able to battle through adversity at times, and have put yourself in a position now to be able to make the RMAC tournament to the end of the season. What has this team, just talk a little bit about this team's heart and their determination to be able to, battle through the adversity and to be able to win games, win matches when you had to win matches, like this weekend, for example, getting a big win over CSU Pueblo, who was battling right there for that 6th spot with you as well. What does it say about this team's determination to be able to win games like that?
I think this year we have a very young team, so all the players are very excited. We have about 3 seniors this year that have been adapting to the team as well, and just kind of moving forward. Like, the team's young, we're very excited, and our team this year is a little different than the years before, and of course playing in the RMAC is a little different than we were in the Pac West, but just having that heart, every practice, playing hard and battling through it, and just it shows off in the field.
You mentioned, I'm glad you brought it up because I was going to bring it up. But you mentioned the young team that is this men's soccer team. How has it been for you as a senior to kind of be the one to? I mean, you've been obviously with this program, for the 4 years of your senior. What's it been like for you to kind of just be a leader to these young guys and to be able to know that, hey, you're kind of passing the torch. You got to kind of be that leader, that senior leader figure for these younger guys.
No, it feels good. I mean, these guys are ready. I mean, they're battling through it. We got 2 freshmen that are scoring goals. I mean, it shows that they're ready. They have hard determination for the team and leadership as well. So.
You're chatting with Dixie State senior forward Moises Medina on Trailblazer Weekly. As again, the Trailblazers fresh off a pair of crucial victories in Colorado over the weekend, and Moises, Drayson mentioned a little bit, and you talking about how good it felt to be named RMAC Player of the Week. Part of that, you scored those 3 goals in 2 matches. I wanted to go back and just ask you, go back in your mind, what was the key to scoring those goals? You mentioned, you couldn't have done it without your teammates and maybe putting you in good spots. What was the key in your mind to be able to have such a good week offensively for you and put 3 balls in the back of the net?
It definitely was a mind game. Like, when there was 2 goals left that needed to be scored to break the record, it was definitely a mind game. Every game I'd go in like, is it going to be this game, or is it going to be this game, or is it going to be this game? But at the end of the day, I put it behind me and just playing for the team, playing for that RMAC spot, and the goal just come by itself. I mean, with the team, and yeah, just moving forward. It's exciting.
And Jason mentioned this as well. You're senior, a 4-year senior at that. You played all 4 years here at Dixie State. I mean, what's that been like? For a couple of those years, you got to play, with your brother. You got to, experience that dynamic. What are some of the biggest things that you've learned as a soccer player and a student athlete here at Dixie State over those 4 years?
Just to keep your head up no matter what the circumstance is. I mean, my first year here, we went from Pac-West champions, and then there's going to be tough years, there's going to be victories, there's going to be losses, and as long as you keep your head forward and keep moving on, the job will get done by itself, and just got to keep practicing.
Chatting with Moises Medina, senior forward for the men's soccer team, live on Trailblazer Weekly as we march forward on a Wednesday afternoon. Moises, you mentioned, a couple years ago being a part of that team that won the Pac-West Conference title a few years ago. Have to imagine that's up there among your favorite memories as a soccer player. Is there another memory, I don't know, maybe in your high school days or maybe here at Dixie State, or is there another memory that you have as a soccer player that is your favorite memory? Maybe it's a golden goal you scored or maybe a hat trick. I don't know. Is there a favorite memory that you have other than the Pac-West Conference Championship win a few years ago?
Probably this last weekend, man. I mean, I feel like breaking the record it's very cool. I mean, I have my whole city behind me in Mesquite. They're all really shocked. They keep congratulating me. They feel like it's a big thing, and I mean, it feels good just setting that example and representing my city.
Yeah, I mean, it is a big deal. I mean, obviously, 4 years of hard work and to have it pay off in such a manner here as you are about to culminate your final season here at Dixie State as the leader in goals for the school. Obviously, a great memory. What other lessons will you take from Dixie State? Obviously, you've had a couple years now to be coached by Coach Broadhead, and obviously, like you mentioned, a lot of different things that you've learned throughout your time here at Dixie State. What are some of the things that you'll take from your career here at Dixie State on into the future?
Kind of like I was saying before, just always moving forward. There's going to be hard times, and I mean, we go through them every day, but just keep your head up, move forward, and it'll happen by itself. I mean, don't get down on yourself. If you lose, don't beat yourself up, and I don't know, just keep moving forward. I mean, it's kind of what I always tell myself.
So as a freshman, Moises, like you said, you're part of that Pac-West championship team. You win Pac-West Freshman of the Year that year, an incredible year, and you talked about the lessons you've learned from that. I mean, to me, that feels like it happened just yesterday, and now here we are 3 years after that, and you go to Westminster Friday. So that's a rival game. I'm sure everyone's excited for that. And then you come back on Sunday, and it's a game that I think as a student athlete you're probably thinking about most of your career, and then you can't believe when it's finally here. It's senior day on Sunday against Colorado Christian. What will it mean? You mentioned, playing close to home, and Mesquite, Nevada is home, and it's just a short drive through the gorge on I-15 up here. So I'm sure you've been able to play in front of friends and family a lot here. What will it mean one final time to put the jersey on and strap on the boots one final time at home in front of friends and family?
No, it's definitely going to be a moment. I mean, I was telling the other senior goalkeeper, Zach Nielsen, we were talking to each other the other day in the locker room. We're like, Sunday is it. I mean, it's the last home game we're ever going to play. 4 years here, and I've been with Zach for 4 years as well. And it's great. I have a lot of people coming from Mesquite to come watch, and it's going to be exciting. We're ready to just perform and hopefully move forward in that RMAC playoff spot.
What's it like knowing that, you mentioned that we've talked about the Pac-West Championship. It's come up a couple of times. The year before that was, on the brink of winning the Pac-West Championship. You went to the regionals with that Pac-West Championship team for the first time the only time that the men's soccer team's ever been there. But if you go back 5, 6, 7 years, this is a team that was struggling, struggling to score goals, struggling to win games. And now, over the course of a few years, and, not winning the conference right now, but certainly a winning record and in a position to make the RMAC tournament, this men's soccer team has had an upward trend over those years, through the years of your career, really. What's it like knowing that, you've helped lay a foundation and leaving a legacy to help build this men's soccer team into one that is very successful?
It feels amazing. I mean, I feel like the whole community is behind us. We have kids wanting to play soccer. They look up to us, and just building that confidence and getting those players and that determination, that heart, all those factors come into play as a player, and just practicing every day, getting that team. Obviously, the coach has a big responsibility as well, but we were all excited to play, and we all give it our all. So, I mean, it's only going up from here.
Chatting with senior forward Moises Medina of the men's soccer team here on Trailblazer Weekly. Just a few seconds left here in this interview. We couldn't let you go. We'd be remiss if we didn't ask you a few rapid fire questions before we let you go here, Moises. Favorite soccer player all time, international or local, or favorite just soccer player total?
All time was Cristiano Ronaldo, man. I always just grew up watching his videos. Got me motivated for my games, and
not a better one to model your game after, if I do say so myself. Favorite team? Soccer team?
Real Madrid.
Real Madrid,
yeah,
of course.
Of course.
And then favorite venue, arena, or whatever that you either played in or that you've watched a soccer match in?
Probably the Santiago Bernabeu. I mean, it's Real Madrid stadium.
Right.
Yeah, I've never really played in a big stadium.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's something to be able to go watch a game at least in such a famous venue there as well. But I mean, obviously a lot of Real Madrid stuff there, and of course Cristiano Ronaldo. It doesn't get much better than that for Cristiano Ronaldo.
One final question for you, and then we'll let you go, and we got to get to class. Favorite person to play FIFA against?
Oh, my brother Gabe.
I
definitely.
I knew that.
Growing up, I mean,
and who's better?
I say me. I mean, I don't want to say anything, but we play every day growing up, and it was just a battle. We were so competitive. But we have a lot of good players on the team as well that always try challenging me. And
do you guys have like team FIFA challenges, or just? I mean, sure, it's always on
at
all
practice
the time.
there's always like, oh, I beat this guy at FIFA. Well, if you beat him, you got to play him, and this and that. And yeah, it's competitive. I love it.
Good stuff. He is men's soccer senior forward Moises Medina. He is the career leader in goals scored and in game-winning goals, and he is not done yet. 2 regular season games remaining at Westminster on Friday, and then home for senior day on Sunday against Colorado Christian.